How do you gauge how long to wait in loop before pulling the pallet? Or at least just see how fast they are or what? That's going to depend on so many factors. Does the killer have an anti-loop power like Nemesis Whip? Pyramid Head? Do they have a projectile like Springtrap or Huntress? How much distance do I have on them? Is it a tile where I can hide my body with the tile itself? Am I death hook? Am I injured? If I throw it on this side versus looping the other way, am I going to be able to make it to a different tile? It depends on so many factors. Yeah, that's crazy, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. See, like right there, that's a pallet that I go to against a Xenomorph fully expecting to die. But the only reason that that worked is because there was enough junk on the table that gave me like enough hitbox as collision for me to utilize. And then I essentially baited him to think that he could take control of the pallet. It's the same thing like this, right? Sometimes if you give the killer control of the pallet, which you can do, if you go far enough away from the pallet and then kind of walk towards it, you give them the indication that you want to take control of the pallet again, and they're like, no, 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 I want to keep the pallet. But when they're in cooldown of using their power, you can actually exploit that. Because it's so short, you can double back to the front side of the pallet anyway and just throw it and get the stun. They were so concerned with taking it so they, you know, I wouldn't use it on them and that they could keep me at the loop, that they essentially lost the loop by getting stunned. So killers that have a power like Xenomorph or maybe a Huntress with a hatchet or Nemesis with a whip, you can kind of exploit like their power cooldown if it's a short enough pallet and they're silly enough to walk back into it like that. I very rarely run around a loop like one time and then throw it unless I feel like the killer's just gonna run through it. I might throw it early, especially if it's a semi, like a partially unsafe structure. Like if it's a tile that has two short sides, if it's a filler, I might throw it early, especially if I can hide the body to get the stun. But if it's a really safe tile, like let's say it's a long wall window tile, right? Where you got the long wall that has the window in the middle and then the broken corner with the pallet next to it, like a lot of standard OG tiles, I will hardly ever throw that. Same with like Shack. When the tile itself has a window that presents a lot of like a threat to the killer, the longer you keep the pallet up, the stronger that tile and window respectfully is. Like you want to keep that up as long as possible. But it's like a pallet like this that has like two short medium sides, I might throw it right away. I'll be honest. I don't know that it has much value to me.